Joined by manager Bud Black to start us off post game. Get going here in a few seconds. And we will start with Thomas Harding. Thomas, go ahead.
Hey, buddy. First of all, before getting to some of the stuff that happened late, Senzatela, he gives up the first home run in a while on the second pitch of the game and kind of guts this one out. How does this compare to some of the recent outings? I know he's been times, but he really gutted this one out.
Well, he's coming off a good one in LA, as you know. Yeah. I thought today he pitched. I thought he pitched well. I thought he pitched. But really good use of fastball to both sides of the plate. Slider again, just keeps getting better and better. Mixing a couple curveballs to get a little slower look. Pounded the strike zone. Very efficient, and this is an aggressive, early count swinging team. And you got to locate some pitches, or they're gonna ambush you and get you on your heels. But I thought he, again, I got to look at the video, but from my vantage point, it looked as though he was moving the ball in and out. He kept the ball down. He got his ground balls. No walks. Very solid pitch game.
It seems as this season has gone on, he's gotten more confident and more sure. Tax hitters, is that an accurate observation?
Well, it's a long year. There's a rhythm to it, and he's in a good spot. He really is. Like I said 2 or 3 weeks ago, that his one-loss record is not indicative of how he's really thrown the ball overall. But that's baseball at times. But it's good to see where he is now. This time of the year. In September. I mean, he's missed a little bit of time. He hasn't made every start, but still, he's showing some late season stamina, holding his stuff.
Last one for me, but the play that McMahon made on the tag, of course, great throw from Diaz. But have you seen a tag like that?
Well, I think I've seen that before, but it just goes to show you another example of Mac playing great defense. I mean, what an athletic play, body control on the run. Both Dom and Mac had to do the right thing. Dom had to hit Mac on the run with a good throw. Mac had to get his feet in some sort of stable position to apply a tag. So, it just goes to show you that these two professional athletes made a play in a critical part of the game.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Patrick Saunders.
Buddy, I'm not sure. Did Thomas ask you about Connor Joe?
Excuse me, he did not. But I assume you're asking.
Yes.
Mild hamstring strain. Has some good strength. We'll see how it sets up tomorrow. But as you guys are well aware, these are, not the best of scenarios. But it's not a, one that is a definite, season-ending hamstring strain. It's not to that degree. There's different grades of strains. So the initial report was it's mild. There's been some trauma, but this could be an IL. It really could be. These things are tricky.
Okay. Second question for me, buddy, is Carlos Estevez tonight threw a perfect ninth inning. It's his 14th consecutive scoreless outing. What's he doing so well during this stretch?
Well, I think he's filling up the strike zone with strikes. I think the changeup has come into play. I think the command of the fastball and with velocity has been a big part of this. I mean, he'll miss occasionally with the fastball, but I think it's in the strike zone. When I say miss, more than likely missing location, not missing out of the zone. So, excuse me. Change up down, fastball both sides, and elevated slider to the right-handed hitter. It's all been working for him these last 14 appearances.
Have you seen his confidence grow? He's always been a pretty confident pitcher, but have you seen that even kind
Yeah, I
of
think
take it to another
that's
level?
picking up a little bit. Anytime that, you elevate a role, I think that's it's a great challenge for a player, and they relish that. And I think you can see, potentially Carlos taking this, the bull by the horns and continue to throw like he has, right? It's a boost of confidence when your role changes to a, more leveraged, part of the game, which the ninth is, the ultimate. So it's good to see him respond.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll go to Larry Patrick and finish up with Tracy.
Yes, buddy. Because the Braves, hit early on a lot of pitches, he had a low pitch count, and it looked like in the dugout during the game, maybe he was trying to stay in after the seventh inning. You were having a discussion with him. Was that what it was about?
Well, yeah, again, I think, what I love about all our starters, they want to keep going. I mean, we have a good enough relationship now between all of us. And I'll include John and Kyle and Antonio and Herman. And to a certain extent, in a short period of time, Austin, that, their honesty with me is wonderful, because it helps us make the best decision. This was a tough one because I think he felt pretty good, but, I told him I saw, a few breaking balls that weren't, properly thrown in the sixth and seventh innings. He got away with, some pitches in the middle of the plate, and they had some good swings on him. The pitch to Riley that he hit in the corner for the double that scored Freeman. That was a little concerning, because I do think he was trying to. I mean, we talked about pitching around him a little bit to get to, the next hitter. So I think he knew that maybe it was time to come out. What I didn't want to happen, Larry, was, for him to go out in the eighth, have a deep pitch count to the first hitter, something negative happen, leave him in for another hitter, then a blue pit, and then have to bring in a reliever with a little bit of traffic in the eighth inning with the other team having momentum. At times, it's best to give a reliever a clean inning and not put a lot of pressure on the starter to keep going. But, tonight was no doubt a tough call, but, I decided to go to the bullpen.
Despite the home run early that he gave up, he was really keeping the ball down low and getting a lot of ground ball outs. Is that the kind of pitcher you like to see, because you have a good defense in the infield?
Agree. Our guys get a lot of ground balls. Sense is not a big strikeout pitcher, but our staff in general gets a lot of ground ball outs. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know it's probably one of the highest percentage of ground ball outs from a starting rotation in the major leagues. So, and Sense is a big part of that.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay.
All right, Tracy, finish this up.
Yeah, buddy, I know in the last month when Holmes was here, he got permission to start to work with Senzatela on simplifying his hands going back over his head and to just smooth out the delivery. And obviously, both Scott and Foster have continued with that.
Yeah, we felt with Senzatela, there was a timing issue, with him breaking his hands over the rubber, and him being, without getting overly technical, he needed to be on time to separate hand out of the glove, continue his motion, get the arm up in the air, and throw the ball. And we just saw, some inconsistency in that when he went over his head, and he had done that for a long time. And he had obviously minor league success. He had, a real good start in 2017. But ultimately, he understood that he had to make some changes within his delivery. And there was a little bit of the initial step, a little bit of the over the rubber. I don't want to get overly technical, but he bought in, and he took the coaching and the teaching to get overall a more consistent, repeatable delivery. And I think now we're seeing the fruits of that labor, the fruits of that teaching with his performances.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, guys.